Welcome to the Cosplay Sanctuary. This is your host, Scotty B. Friends, I'm getting on a Cosplay Soapbox today because we have things we want to talk about. We have opinions we need to voice in a forum where we have lots of strangers paying attention to us, and everyone has an opinion online and no one is afraid to use it. Staying neutral is very difficult to do in this space, and as cosplayers, we tend to want to get on soapboxes and leverage that good old following so that they can see the stories that we put out, that they can see us live, that they can see us doing and talking about all of the hot button topics, talking through cancel culture, posting all of the evidence of people doing wrong things. And we get on a soapbox and we start talking and we keep talking. And I'm not really sure where any of that goes because I've never actually done too much of that. But everybody has an opinion. And it doesn't even need to be about you. Like it really has very little to do with us as individuals as far as these trends that start online and we either jump on the bandwagon or we oppose it. It keeps us relevant in some instances to get on a soapbox and start talking about hot button topics. And I don't want to go into any specifics about which topics or what it is that cosplayers or any particular cosplayers who seem to do this, doesn't make any difference to me, because I honestly don't have time to follow all of that. I don't have time to do much more than I'm doing, which is stay in my lane and create the content, which brings things like this to light. But you have to ask yourself, is this why you built your platform? Is this the reason and the justification that you have more followers so that you can be more judgy, so that you can have more arguments and you can decide more who was right and who was wrong about whatever it is that you decided you needed to get on a soapbox in cosplay and talk about? Why did you do it? Because you wanted to gaslight? Because you wanted to get people, give them the awareness that you didn't think that they already had? What was it that you were trying to do? For me, you have to back this up and think about your understanding of you as a brand and an avatar, if that is what you're in this space for. If this is not a personal blog of any kind, if you are not mixing this with a bunch of other things that you do, if it is just cosplay and it is very closed off and it is very much you trying to get in front of other bigger companies that support the industry, that therefore will provide you with compensation in order to promote them, their products, or just in general, and you're doing work for them in PR or advertising, let's say, that there could be a lot of confusion about what it is you are about if you suddenly start going off in a direction of getting on a soapbox about a certain topic and really making taking a stand on certain hot button issues, certain political issues, certain I don't know, anything that can come up, really, like anything with an actor who you don't know, who is lots of miles away from you and has millionaire problems, that they get involved with something and we suddenly tie it into a cosplay with a movie that they were in or a character that they portrayed in a series. And though casting changes over time, we're associating whatever we're doing in cosplay with one person and one only person, and we are starting to talk them up as if they were the only person to portray any cosplay, or that they have actually cosplayed anything themselves. They don't. They're actors in movies. They wear costumes. They have designers. They film. They cut. They edit. They produce what we consider entertainment. That is what they do, and then they move on. And they could be working on many things at the same time. They are not cosplayers. They don't do this for fun. It's not a hobby. It's a job. They are paid very well in some cases to do it. Many people aren't, but the people that we know, the A-listers and so on, they're paid well. Their platform has PR all over it. Their platform has people who do nothing but make sure that everything goes out the way that it's supposed to and that the message is very consistent and clear. But we don't have that as individuals. And a lot of times that gets lost in translation when we're putting things online. Now, fortunately, everybody has a very short attention span. So the things that we put in our feeds, not necessarily really the biggest deal in the world, but somebody out there is probably collecting information. somebody out there is probably swiping and going, oh, this is when they said this, and this is when they said this, and I'm going to out them. And either way, it's ridiculous. But just remember that you need to understand what your branding, what your self-brand is, and what your ideal avatar, what the person is that you're reaching. Who are they? And who are you? Who are you trying to be? Who do you want to be with your platform? And who are they? Those are the two things that need to match up. And if you go in too many different directions, too many times, and you're not who you are on your platform, if you're not your persona, and you keep going all over the place, then people get a little confused about what you're doing with it, but that it is very confusing and that it won't go anywhere. It won't be sustainable. It won't get where you want it to go. So the advice that I have is to not get on a soapbox. Don't leverage your following for that. Have a service, have a product. Bring something to your audience, not just your opinion. If you have an opinion about things that you know about, then by all means. But if it's just a passing thing that you couldn't possibly know, you're not friends with the people who are involved, you had no influence in the thing that is supposedly affecting the people that you don't know and aren't involved with, and you're just voicing an opinion about a public event or about something you saw in the news, there's a different form for that. And I don't think it's cosplay. And even things that affect the cosplay community, yes, that we can have awareness for those things. And we certainly do. We certainly have a space here to discuss those things. But we don't need to hide behind causes and injustices in order to promote ourselves. I don't hide behind them. I don't want to be known for the person who always makes everyone aware of the people who are opposing justice and opposing the worthy cause. That's not the point of the show. The point of the show is to encourage you to have worthy causes and to fight injustice in your own way, but that doesn't mean you need to be an advocate. It doesn't mean that you need to have nonprofits all over the place that support X, Y, and Z. But I would caution you to be on a soapbox about every single thing that goes wrong on Earth, because it will take your focus away from what you're trying to do and what you're trying to build, which can scale, can go in a lot of different directions, but you need a lot of energy in order to do that for all of these never-ending ongoing battles that you're going to end up having with other ideas and even your own. So you have to be very focused on you, and you have to be focused on what you want to do with your platform and with cosplay, and not just jump on the soapbox because it might be a little bit easier and it might generate just a little bit more attention for you short term. So you want to build a strategy, have a plan. There's a lot of things that as we develop here in Heroes of Cosplay Sanctuary that we'll be able to tell you and offer you. And that's kind of the whole point. Something strange is going on here. And when we get through this season and into other seasons, there's going to be something there for you in order to help you as a cosplayer understand all of the things that I've brought up as we've been creating this platform. And that's where I'm going to leave it today, folks. Thanks again so much for being a part of the show, for supporting, like, commenting, and subscribing. Everything is in the notes below as usual, and as I've explained before, this is Scotty B with the Heroes of Cosplay Sanctuary saying bye-bye, everybody.